Hi folks, so this is just a brief little update video just to let you know where I'm kind of at with the channel, but firstly though I have to apologize by way of content to Lootcrate because I do owe you guys a monthly video. I don't know why after I almost completely missed 1 month, they still chose to keep me on. I then have had a bunch of other problems stuck on top of that and then had to miss a second month, which they also seem to have forgiven me for, so if you'll pardon me, this is going to be crates and updates. We're just going to front load this with some of the display content and promo content that I do owe them, but I am going to recycle the format of Killer Brimbor doing it because it's currently almost midnight. I've just come off stage, I'll explain later, and I am really, really tired. Sorry to everyone involved. See you on the other side.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot, why not?
Yo, what up, dog? Killer Brimbor coming at you with a brand new hot ad. Making mad dollar while I'm sending mad swag. Sure, that really don't rhyme, but promo's hardly my bag. Check our screen and you can see some of the mad shit you can get on lootcrate.com. Be sure to use my link /overenglish and a code overenglish for a 10% discount. Monthly nerd merch coming at ya live, which I wouldn't know anything about being undead.
Okay, yep, it's worse.
Okay, so with that out of the way, we can move on with the update portion of the video. Once again, sorry to Lootcrate. I don't really know why you guys keep me around, if I'm entirely honest. But yeah, this is probably going to be, consider it part one of a sort of update discussion, because there's some stuff that I want to get into, but I really don't have the energy right now. So I'll just kind of lightning round through the things that people might be concerned about. One, my health. Because those of you who've been following community posts know that I've been visiting the hospital a lot recently. And those of you who've seen some of the update videos will also know that I've been blacking out and having chronic fatigue for a decent while now. Yeah, it's getting investigated towards the later end of the year that it might be literal chronic fatigue as a medical clinical condition. But I won't know more until I've had like my assessments and all that kind of stuff, but we're investigating that as it goes along. For the most part, I'm fine, but I've got kind of a finite battery life that I'll burn through, and once I reach the end of it, no matter what I'm doing, that is it, I'm gone. Next up, where am I at the moment? Well, funny thing you say that, given what I just said. I'm mostly, as I referred to earlier, at the moment, quite a lot of my time is being eaten up with being on stage. This is as the showrun is coming to a close of a production that my dad has been putting on, which I've mostly been in just because it happened to be a perfect storm of cast out of friends and people that I'd worked with before or people I always wanted to work with. And honestly, at that point, I thought I could do it. Turns out that was a bit of an overstatement because I am monumentally tired and basically only have enough energy to get through the show and then conk out the other side. I'm running on fumes to record this, but I need to make sure this is done and dusted. That will be done probably by the end of this week, and then we have, I think, one thing right far on the 9th, but mostly it'll be done by the end of this week. Which means I should have my evenings back again, which means those of you who watch Landup's channel, I should be returning to Super Sentai Guy Force 5 and some of their other series as well. That also means that going forward, it is currently the summer holidays. For those of you who don't know, I work in education, so I get a little bit of a holiday, which is coming to an end at the end of August. We go back slightly earlier than September. That said, there are some things that I want to try and get done over the summer holidays, which I'll expand on a bit more and try and set up more in another update video, which I make when I have far more energy. Oh yeah, XCOM 2. There is a new episode recorded. I just need to edit it together. I'm slightly strapped for time at the moment. Shadow of War, obviously there's still hours and 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 hours of footage left. For the record, I think I'm only a couple of strongholds away from finishing the game, or at least entering the Shadow Wars portion, at the time I stopped recording. So don't expect me to be in the modern day for a long time. I keep saying this, but people keep missing it. When you see me click the difficulty over to Gravewalker, you know we're in the modern day. I'll also probably preface it by saying we're in the modern day in the first few videos just to keep people up to speed. But, however, in terms of editing Shadow of War, I want another episode of XCOM first, and then I'll go back to Shadow of War, and Chrono Trigger will be percolating somewhere along in that background. It has massively fallen to the back burner, but that's because if I have limited time to burn, it makes more sense to burn it on something that I find creatively stimulating, like doing all the creative edits and interesting stuff, much as Chrono Trigger is artistically stimulating because it's cool to do the voices, it's cool to put this project together. It is also creatively a bit of a chore because I've got to edit through sometimes 100 takes of a single line just to find the line, then sync it up with the gameplay footage, which inevitably falls out of sync with my commentary, yada, 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 editor talk. Oh yeah, and one final point to the people who are still confused where I was for a long time this year. You know that video, which is nearly a quarter of an hour long, of nearly back-to-back rewritten musical? Yeah, it turns out it takes a while to rewrite nearly a quarter of a musical, organize an orchestra, organize all the singers, recast half the cast over and over again because people keep ghosting on me. I'm the unluckiest man on the internet, apparently, and a variety of other things. So that was where I was. To the people who still, to this day, seem to think I'm dead. Yeah, I'm not, but sometimes I do stuff that isn't XCOM, Shadow of War, or various other gaming videos. Oh, well, yeah, and Salt and Sanctuary will be popping up at some point, but I need a bit more time to sit down and actually record more episodes because I ran out of time, and I ran out of episodes, and ran out of salt, ran out of many things, including sanity. So that's going to be fun, going back to that with no experience in the last year or so of playing the bloody game. Good vibes and good times. Other than that, I hope you guys are all well, and I will see you soon. But I just wanted to just kind of fill the gap, let you guys know that I'm still around, still here. There's not going to be a 6-month wait for the next video or that kind of stuff, especially since also the Endgame musical and the Infinity War musical were more me saying goodbye to my era of the MCU that I grew up with, and I won't be doing large-scale projects like that again for the foreseeable future. Maybe the odd one-man parody here and there, more like Star Wars Moana, the Metaton songs I've done, much more likely to be one-man shows if I end up doing that sort of stuff again, and much, much less so on the let's organize a huge ton of people and a huge orchestra and a huge project of someone animating the video and a huge project of then cutting it all together and a huge project of someone mixing it, yada, yada, yada. Whew. I need sleep. Love you all, and farewell.